Hello, everyone, and welcome in. This is Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, joined by Jesse Moeller at JMoeller05. How's it going, Jesse? What's up?
It's good. I've got a little free time this time of the day because daughter's in school, so it's a nice little time to talk some fantasy. Even though my Seahawks decided to shit the bed last night and just blow a perfect opportunity. So as a Seahawks fan, not too happy about it, but overall, it's a good fantasy day. So
Stay positive. We can't take that kind of negativity. I can't stand the negative reviews if we're negative. So just be,
it's a
be
great day. I'm
positive,
sorry.
be
I stay
upbeat.
great.
I don't want people to tell us we should quit because we're very negative. So stay positive.
Nancy.
All right. We are here with the NFL Week 13 Fantasy Football AFC home game previews. We got 6 of them, I think, because there's an odd number of games. Yeah, 13 games, so 6. I did 7 yesterday. We are going to kick things off first with not a game preview. We are going to kick things off with a game recap to make Jesse relive his misery. I never even considered that you're a Seahawks fan when I threw this into the show, but you're welcome.
Thank you.
We have the Dallas Cowboys 41 and the Seattle Seahawks 35. Dallas moves to 9-3. Seattle falls to 6-6, which is probably good enough for a 3-game lead in the NFC South, if only they were in the South. The quarterbacks, good God, there's a lot of players where if you face them in fantasy, you are in trouble. Gino goes for 334, 3 touchdowns, and an interception for 43 points in a losing effort. Dak goes 299 and 3 touchdowns with, 23 more on the ground, and he puts up 39. So far, these are the QB 1 and 2 on the week. They are likely to stay that way. Zach Charbonnet in for the injured Ken Walker. I added him in a few leagues, and I'm glad I did. He had 19 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. He had 1 catch for 39 yards on the receiving side for 17 points. Tony Pollard took advantage of another prime matchup here. He had 20 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown and 3 for 15 through the air. Don't mind me. I'm coughing up a lung again. It's been a rough week. I think I have COVID for the 4th time. DK Metcalf, good God. 6 catches, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns, one of which was so wide open it was mind-boggling. CeeDee Lamb, we have a stud at each position in this game. It's scary. CeeDee Lamb had 2 carries for 30 yards, 12 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown, and still was 10 points behind DK. Then we even had a couple more usable receivers here. JSN had 7 for 62. Lockett had 5 for 47. Brandon Cooks 4 for 45 and a touchdown, and that's about it from the receivers. Jake Ferguson was even having a hell of a day. There's going to be a lot of the number 1 overall at the position this week in this game. Ferguson, 6 for 77 and a touchdown. Fant, 3 for 43, which feels like probably a career high. I picked on the one league that doesn't have kickers because I do this every freaking time, so why wouldn't I? Let me switch over quickly. Sorry about that. Kickers, we had a great day out of Brandon Aubrey. If you had him, you were starting him. Jason Myers had a down day here. Only 1 field goal, which he missed. Give me 1 sec here, Jesse. I've got a sneeze stuck. Good God. I wanted to mute my mic because I'm like, I just need 2 seconds to sneeze. And then I muted my mic and I was like, it just won't come out. Now it's gone.
The frozen face. Yeah, that's
going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Both defenses, oh, it's back. Damn it. Both defenses were not good.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah. Because my mic's not muted now. Oh, here we go. I couldn't get to the mute button again. It's going to be a long day, man. I put the mute button on. I couldn't get the sneeze out. And then right when I had to sneeze, I went to grab my mouse and I sneezed so hard I couldn't hit the mute button. I'm struggling, guys. I'm trying.
It should not be this funny, but it is.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure it's very funny to everyone who's not me. I'm struggling here. So the Seahawks and the Cowboys were both terrible. Dallas was surprisingly bad considering how good they've been. But, I mean, you give up 35 points. That will happen. I was quite pleased. I faced DK Metcalf in a league, my league of record, and I'm still picked to win by 20. So that should tell you there's a reason I'm in first place. But, good God, what do you take away here? For me, I think it's that from what I've heard about everyone's victory lapping Pollard and saying, oh, it's just an injury. He was rehabbing from an injury and we should have expected him to start slow. And, he's going to be awesome now. For me, this is a case of he took advantage of 3 awesome matchups in a row. And if your trade deadline hasn't passed, I am selling high on Tony Pollard right now because I don't believe in him for 1 second here. Jeremy felt the other way. Where do you fall? Which side are you?
I think he's matchup dependent. And he's got games against Philly and Buffalo coming up. So it's a little all over the place. And it's Miami and Detroit to finish the year. So, if you have him and, you have him as, RB3, it's fine. But, I don't want to have him as my RB1 on a team because it's going to be super risky. His yards per carry and stuff was not great last night. It's just he got the touchdown. And, that happened. Same thing with Charbonnet. Charbonnet played well. So, overall, I know people clown Charbonnet. And I was like, look at the workload before he left the end of the game with Dallas. He got all of the touches and all the work. And if you're getting that, it's totally fine. But I think the takeaway for Gene. Oh, no, go ahead.
Charbonnet worries me as someone who was very highly rostered of Ken Walker. Charbonnet, the way he played yesterday, is a problem.
He's a good player. They both have different skill sets, and you kind of see it with Charbonnet. Particularly that 4th down play. That play is designed to have the running back leak out. It's just G.J. Dallas is too freaking slow. He can't get out there. And they have a 4-3 end, and Micah Parsons coming off unblocked. That play does not. It's just a terrible design to do that. And you saw it where not quality running back, it fell apart. So, if Charbonnet's on the field, that play probably works. It's just, it is what it is sometimes. But, he's a good running back, and they're going to be blocking each other, moving forward. I don't see anything in having to see any of those guys. But interesting enough, Gino, his targets or his time to throw, dropped down dramatically. He was at 2.91 seconds for drop back on the season. It was 2.54 in this game. And Carroll said before the game, hey, we want to get the ball out early because of the pass rush. And they did that, and it was successful. So I expect Seattle to do this a lot more moving forward because why the heck would you not do that when your offense should actually be a good offense? So, that's my big takeaway for Seattle.
The biggest takeaway and the biggest shocking story here might be that Pete Carroll said something and actually did it.
I know. Wild, right?
You've got, I guess, Dak's obviously a top 6 quarterback here. Gino's probably a low-end 1. You've got 2 decent RB2s here for as long as Walker's out. And then when Walker's back, I think he's an RB1. You have a top 5 receiver, and then I think DK is probably a high-end 2. Then you've got some solid flex-worthy receivers here. Then you've got a usable tight end, 2 good kickers, a decent defense. There are a lot of fantasy studs in this game. It's
and JSN had that touchdown reverse. If he has that touchdown count,
is that what happened?
His timeline was great. Yeah, it was like he pinned it against the ground, kind of. I don't know.
He was on my bench, and I seen him dive, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice catch. And then I looked later, and I said, how does he only have 5.2 points? He scored a touchdown. And then that's they took the points off of my bench. I mean, it wouldn't have helped me anyways, but it more hurt that they took it out of him and they threw it to DK, who did hurt me. So it's great.
We saw on Twitter, most people were like, "Oh, the buy window's closed," and then it went away. I was like, "Oh, maybe not." Maybe not.
Good times.
But and then on the other side, Cooks. Cooks is the other guy. He did it again. He's just producing fantasy points, man. He's been very reliable. So, you can do worse than Brandon Cooks.
All right, let's see if I can. What's going on here with my there we go. Got something in my background. My kid's coat hanging on the wall back here, and it keeps popping into my background. All right, let us start with our first game. Do you have any preference on a game you'd like to start with, or say
fire one up? I don't care. No,
let's
it does not
matter. Start with this one's gross. We'll start with the grossness. Just go into that. We will start with the Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals at Pittsburgh Steelers. We have Kyler Murray, 24th best matchup. Kenny Pickett, 7th best. I am firing Kyler up. I believe I got to bring my rankings up, but I think he's a low end 1 for me, maybe 9 or 10. I think Pickett, might have him at 16, but 16, given the fact that we pretty much, beleaguered the point yesterday of what it looks like at 20. So for him to be 16, don't take that as a ringing endorsement for Pickett. Just, go look at what the bottom 20 look like. I'm going to bring up my rankings quickly. Actually, I have Kyler lower. I have Kyler at 13, below Wilson, Goff, and Love. And I have Pickett at 16. So they're closer together in my rankings because Pickett's getting artificially pushed up here. But I don't if I have these 2 on my roster, I'm starting Kyler here, despite the matchup, without question. Not even close.
Yeah. Kyler's been just not good quarterback passing. He's been really inefficient. He struggled, but he's still producing fantasy points. which is the opposite for Kenny Pickett, right? Like Kenny Pickett had his breakout game. He looked a lot better, but the team just didn't score. So you kind of know what you're getting out of these guys. Like Pickett can run a little bit, so he gives you a high floor, but they really need touchdowns. So like if you're gonna start Pickett, this is the week to do it because Carl's defense is not good. But yeah, I have him at QB 4 or 16. Sorry, Pickett's at QB 16, and Kyler's at QB 10. But yeah, like you just trust Kyler. He's just been a better throughout his career. So yeah, 100%.
Fair enough. We're pretty close. We both have Pickett at 16. I think I have Kyler 3 lower, but I could see that going up or down in my last rankings here before we start the week. Running back, 15th best matchup for the Cardinals and the second best for the Steelers. I'm going to say the unpopular thing here, and I am back on the Najee Harris train. Jalen Warren is just not taking the job over, and he is basically just being the number 2. He's still getting enough work and some decent touches to basically limit Harris's upside and to make himself flexible, but I think Harris has the upside here. Connor is who I want best in this matchup. I'm not sure how close it is. I have to look at my rankings. I feel like it's getting closer. I used to be much higher on Connor. Actually, I think I have Najee higher. I have Najee all the way at 18. I have Connor at 26. And I have Jalen Warren at 23. So I have both Pittsburgh backs over James Conner here. I think
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the defense, the matchup here is pretty bad. Actually, you look at it, I got to change this around. I have Warren in my rankings over Najee, and I don't like that at all. I'm back out. I'm back in on Najee.
I like both these guys. The issue for Warren is the fact that Najee plays such a significant role. Same thing with Najee, but like interesting enough, Warren's getting more passing down work, and that's kind of how he's succeeding. Where Najee's getting more goal line work, so you kind of see the two ways that they're working. So. And then interesting, like in an offense like this, like I'll bet on the guy getting the passing down work just because I don't trust the touchdown situation. Yeah. If there was a better offense, then yeah, I'd be flip side. But I think Warren's he might be top 12 from this week. He's really high. I need to double check. Yeah, Warren's 13 and Najee's like 19. So they're both like mid to high end RB2s. And then Connor, just because I don't trust the passing down work, it really hasn't been there since he's been back. So I don't know what's going on with that offense anymore. And maybe Michael Carter's stealing more of that. We'll see how it works out. He's RB 25 for me. So like you could play him, but I just worry about Connor a little bit, and I hope that.
That's the confusing part for me. Maybe it's just a matchup because if you had to ask me, do I want Connor who has it all to himself, or the other two who are going to cannibalize each other? I feel like I want Connor, but in my projections, he comes out the lowest. So.
Yeah, it's just that's weird. I know because I think it's basically just a matchup. If it was like a different game where it's just average defenses, I'd probably have Connor above these guys. But given the fact that they're playing the Arizona Cardinals defense, like they're just higher. I think that's what it is. Do we have a comment?
Yeah, I brought it up. It's on the screen. Give me 1 sec. I'm going up to my little matchup guide here. I'm going to bring up my rankings, but I just want to see if there's anything. So who do we have? Otten, Logan Thomas, and who? Jonnu. I have Logan Thomas at 12, Otten at 13, and Jonnu at 16. But just let me check here.
Yeah, I have Otten the highest. He's 9 for me. So, but they're all like really close. Him and Thomas. I
just want to check my matchup charts here before I make an official decision here, just to make sure I haven't overlooked a glaring matchup.
There was some news about the Carolina guys being out too. The Bucs defense is on shambles right now. They have a bunch of guys out too, but Carolina's offense isn't good, so I don't really think it matters.
So the Bucs get Carolina, who are a bad matchup, but they might not be. Who are the other two? Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas.
Mediocre matchup.
And Johnny Smith.
So Logan Thomas has the best matchup. Yeah, okay. So Logan Thomas it is. I had him ranked higher anyways. So the fact that he has the best matchup. I feel like Cade Otton has the highest ceiling, but I feel like Logan Thomas is a safe play. Jonnu's right out of it for me. I don't even
know. Yeah. I'm not even doing Johnny. It would be I have Cade higher, but like I'm fine with either one of these guys.
If you need to swing for the ceiling, go with Cade Otton. If you need surefire points, go with Logan Thomas. Is what I think.
Well, yeah, because like he runs all of the routes. It's just he just doesn't get a ton of targets. So like
he's on the field 98% of snaps.
He's had some good games, but yeah. So like Schultz is not expected to play. So yeah, you're gonna have to pivot.
All right, moving on to the receivers. 10th best matchup for the Cardinals, 15th best for the Steelers. I think in this one, you have three guys who I'm really struggling with, and I think are going to come up in a lot of sit start questions because I don't know where I feel. Like, I think the only ones who are even considered to be starters are Hollywood, Deontay, and Pickens. And all three of them, I think I have firmly in wide receiver 3 range. I have Deontay at 28. Deontay at 28. Pickens at 34. I feel like I have Hollywood the highest, but I can't find him in my rankings. So
Yeah,
where do you have?
I have Hollywood at 19. Hollywood's at 19. Deontay's 23, and Pickens is 28. Yeah, it's just it is what it is with this Pittsburgh offense.
Oh,
Unfortunately for Pickens, like how high do you have Hollywood?
no, I don't have him high at all. I have
Oh,
Deontay at 28, Hollywood at 33, Pickens at 34. And I
yeah, like
think all three are, it depends on what your options would be. I don't feel strongly. I think this is another situation where I think Deontay is probably the best of the options, but Brown has no competition.
yep.
You want to say, oh, well, he has Trey McBride now. Yeah, but Fryermuth is the same for the Steelers. He took over last week. So I think if you ask me which players I would want to start in this game, aside from Kyler Murray, I prefer the 2 tight ends best.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing Hollywood, and I just think like we've seen it since Deontay's been back. He's just been the better wide receivers, earning more targets, and Pickett just trusts him. So like I'm gonna always have Deontay above Pickens, even if it's like a juicy matchup or whatever. Like I just think Deontay's better. So like it's really hard for me to rank Pickens above Deontay. So I'll do those two. I'm really like I would bench Pickens of the 3 of those wide receivers. But yeah, like I want these tight ends also as well.
Yeah, I'm going to flip over to the tight ends here. It is bad matchups for both tight ends. Having said that, I have Trey at 4, Fryermuth at 9. So you're starting them both. They're both elite and good dynasty assets here. The kicker or DST I'll go to because that's next up on the rankings. Good matchup for the Steelers, who I'm going to play. I'm going to sit the Cardinals. I have the Steelers at 8, the Cardinals down at my 26. The Cardinals are my last defense on the week. And kickers, middle of the pack matchups for both, but I feel like I don't want to start either. Excuse me. I have them back to back at 14 and 15. So fire up, absolute must start both tight ends. Must start for the Steelers defense. Bench both kickers and the Cards defense if you can, is my end takeaway here, unless you have something further you disagree with.
I'm with you. That's right. I'm right with you on that.
All right, let's fire up our next sexy matchup. I'll tell you what, yesterday's slate was certainly better. We'll go with a divisional battle here. We'll go Colts and Titans. That sounds like fun. If you went into the season, I'm sure you projected that it would be a Minshew versus Will Levis battle, but that's where we're at for the quarterback. So 17th best matchup for Will Levis, 17th for Gardner Minshew, 22nd for Will Levis. I have Minshew at 15, and he's probably the best streamer on the week. I have Will Levis at 22, and you pretty much know that my cutoff has been 19. And after this week, after Matt Stafford at 19, I want no part of any of these quarterbacks. I'm definitely playing Gardner Minshew over Will Levis, but I can't deny the fact that Will Levis did seem to have that one good game where he does have upside, but it was just one good game. So what do you think of these two?
Yeah, Levis, they just don't pass enough. It's super risky. And on the flip side, Gardner, they just slang the rock. So if I'm choosing between 2 quarterbacks, I want a guy who's going to get pass attempts. Gardner's been over 40 and over 50 in multiple games this year. Like they're throwing it a lot there. Levis, he's only been over 30, I think, twice in his starts. So it's not great for him as far as pass attempts, and it's just really hard for him. So from a fantasy standpoint, I much prefer Minshew. Then the like floor and ceiling case with him is ginormous. Like he can be all over the place with 4 turnovers or 3 touchdowns. Like you just don't know. But yeah, I just don't trust Levis. So he's 22. Minshew's 18. I actually one spot lower than Geno. So looks like I'm missing Geno in the rankings this week. But yeah, like I definitely prefer Minshew.
Where did I have Geno? That's a good question. Where did you have him?
I had him at 17, and I was like, oh, that's killing me.
Huh. I have him at 17.
Just like damn.
Oops. So the running backs.
Whoa.
Middle of the pack matchup for the Colts running backs. Great matchup for the Titans. Zach Moss is the guy here. I have him at 10. Trey Sermon is so bad, I had to Google who the next running back was up on the depth chart because I couldn't remember if it was Evan Hull or I thought he was still out. And then I'm like, Trey Sermon's there. So 10, RB10 for Zach Moss. I will look to see where I have Henry. Henry is RB11 right after him. And I'm going to assume Tyjae Spears is ranked far higher than what's his name? I already forgot it. I guess switch back over to Sermon. He is. Yeah. That's not saying much. I have him at RB37. I don't even think I have Sermon ranked. I think
I'm
he's.
starting at
Oh no,
47, but like it's just
I am at
gross.
73.
Oh boy, wow, that is really low. I was looking at, I was like, yeah, Sermon's gonna get some touches, but like it's gonna go to majority Zach Moss. Like I think I have him projected for 22 touches in this game, which is actually more than Derrick Henry. So, fun fact: Zach Moss is going to get work. Henry's at 8, Moss is at 11 for me for running back. So like I'm fighting both these guys up. I like them, and Henry has the better matchup as far as like points allowed, but like I don't care. Moss's role is fantastic, so I'm firing both these guys up. I think Moss has a higher floor just because if this game gets out of hand from the Titans, then here Spears gets more work. So I think Moss is just the safer play in general.
Wide receivers, 8th best matchup for the Colts, 18th best matchup for the Titans. Pittman's the must start here. He is my wide receiver 8 on the week. I think I'm willing to start D-Hop. He's all the way down at 20 for me. Other than that, I don't really want – I like to stash Downs, and I want no part of anyone else. I have Downs. I guess Downs is startable. I have Downs as 27, so he's a decent wide receiver 3. But Pittman's the one I want here. Everyone else scares me because they have no floor whatsoever. So it's easily Pittman.
It's those guys. Yeah, like I don't. Outside of those 3 wide receivers, like I really just don't want to play one. Downs is the cutoff at 31, and then the next highest one's Alec Pierce, but just no thank you. I don't know who my next highest Tennessee Titans wide receiver is. It's like maybe it's Kyle Phillips.
I don't even know if
Treylon
Burks is in the lineup.
Yeah, like it's Burks, and then he's like wide receiver 70. So yeah, the Treylon Burks bust case is just fantastic right now. But yeah, like those 3, like you play those 3. Yeah. Downs has upside. We've seen it. Like he's been very good, and he just gets targets. Like I think he had tied with Pittman last week with the time targets. If I checked correctly, let me see. Yeah, he had 13 targets last week. So if he's getting work like that, like you love Downs. So yeah, those 3 are top 31 for me.
Tight ends, you're not playing either, regardless of good or bad matchup. The highest ranked I have is Chig at 19. I have Kylan Granson at 30. Just avoid it completely unless you're desperate and need Chig. Kicker, 5th best matchup for Matt Gay, 2nd best for Nick Folk. Having said that, I have Gay at 7, Folk at 8. So they are both starters this week. The DSTs, 14th best matchup for Indy, 20th best matchup for Tennessee. I do not have either of them inside the top 12. I have the Titans. Oh, yeah, I do. Sorry. I have the Colts at 10, Titans at 14. Colts are probably starters here, I think. I don't know if I'd like to target either, but they're both playable if you have either. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Colts defense has been kind of just, I guess, sporadic is a good way to put it. But like they've had some good games, they've had some down games. It's just
matchup dependent is probably more accurate.
I think that's the better way to phrase it. The Titans, on the other hand, not so much. They're not so great. So yeah, I'll roll with the Colts over them.
That's why they've been sporadic, because they're matchup dependent. So
yes.
I like that though. I like the ones that are matchup dependent, where it's like, oh, with Amari Cooper, oh, I'm going to bench him on the road. I'm going to play him out. I love the ones where when they're going to suck. I like that.
It's a lot easier.
I have no problem benching you. Just let me know when I need to bench you. We're good.
It's nice when teams come together like that. We don't have like 5 guys you have to choose between. No, this is easy.
Exactly. Next up, Chargers and Patriots. Remember when this was like an AFC championship game? Not anymore.
Philip Rivers, baby. Long time ago.
Justin Herbert, 27th best matchup. Don't care. I'm playing him. He is my 8 on the week. Mac Jones, or more likely Bailey Zappi, 3rd best matchup. Don't care. He falls 27th this week. He is 27th in quarterback rankings this week. Jesse, how many teams are playing this week?
That is actually a good question. 27? I absolutely don't know.
26. 26.
Like how I picked an odd number and it can't be that amount. Yeah.
Yeah. How are 27 teams playing? Do the Patriots only count as half a team, or was
basically? Yeah, they're that. So they're that.
He is QB 27 in a week where there's 26 teams playing. That should tell you all you need to know.
Good grief. Yeah, I only have Tim Boyle ranked below him because Tim Boyle is atrocious. But yeah, I don't want either one of those guys. No, thank you. Just no. We're just gonna avoid it. Even though it's
Boyle's the only one I have ranked below him too. It's Zappi, Mac Jones, and Boyle to close up my rankings.
Yeah. It's a perfect matchup too. They're like, no, he's just trash. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Running backs we'll get to then. Eckler, who's been disappointing but gets the 17th best matchup. Top 10 matchup for Stevenson, who I assume is still ranked lower. He is. I still have Eckler all the way at 9. I have Stevenson at 16. Having said that, I think I'm willing to fire them both up as high-end RB2s. I don't know. If I had to choose, Do I dare go Stevenson? No, I think I still got to go Eckler over Stevenson in this one, even as
And
bad as Eckler's been.
it's crazy. Like if you look at sleepers projections, Eckler is massively above Stevenson. But I actually have Stevenson one spot ahead. They're both top 12 for me. It's weird with Eckler. His role is strange. He's not being targeted as much. Like he finally saw the targets last week, but it didn't do anything for you. He had 6 targets, 32 yards, really just didn't get anything done, unfortunately. On the flip side, Stevenson's come back to life. He looks like the guy from last year where he got 5 targets. He did some stuff. It was 1.8 yards on the ground. So per attempt, so not great, but the 21 attempts, it's just he's been better than Eckler this year. So like I'm fine rolling with Stevenson over Eckler, but they just get great volume, so I don't really care what they're doing, honestly.
Wide receivers, 9th best matchup for the Chargers, 3rd best matchup for the Patriots. I am comfortable firing up Keenan Allen. He is my 4 on the week. I want no part of any other receiver here unless I have to desperation stream Guyton or Johnston. I would have said Demario Douglas is the guy I want. I don't think Demario Douglas is going to play. He missed practice today. Doesn't look good. He is my wide receiver. I don't know where the hell he is. Douglas. I'm trying to find him. 40. So I think I've already bumped him down. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he was just 40. So he was someone I was comfortable playing as a wide receiver 3 with some upside. But given the health issue here, I think I'm playing Keenan Allen and avoiding everyone else in the receiving course.
I think that's the safest way to go. Like Bailey Zappi can't really do anything offensively. It's not good. So I don't expect him to be able to support these options. What I really expect is it to just go to Stevenson, and that's why I'm so high on him this week. I just think he's going to get checked out 90, like an insane amount. I guess you could fire Jalen Guyton or Quentin Johnson if you really, really want to, but honestly, like you're saying, I just want to avoid every other wide receiver besides Allen, who is a top. What is he from? He's really high.
Tight ends,
he's top 4.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Tight ends, I have Gerald Everett at 14. I have Donald Parham at 24, and my highest ranked Patriot is where? Hunter Henry at 20. So you are avoiding all 4 of these lovely tight ends in this matchup. The kickers, 9th best matchup for Dicker, 22nd best for Ryland. I have Dicker as my kicker 5 and Ryland way at the bottom. He's second from the bottom for me. So play Dicker. Do not start Ryland. DST's 4th best matchup for the Chargers, 30th for the Patriots. I have the Chargers as my DST 12, and I'm going to move them up. They're going to end up being more like 7. As bad as they are, this matchup is too juicy. The Patriots are my 3rd from the bottom, so you are playing Dicker for sure, and probably playing the Chargers DST and avoiding everything else. Thoughts?
Yeah. It's just not a good matchup for the Patriots defense. So like they have some talent, but like the Chargers they don't give up fancy points to defenses. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm benching the Patriots. I'm not touching their kicker either. And yeah, I'll play the Chargers kicker and defense.
Oh, one sec. I was going to bring up the next game, but I wanted to answer this question in between. Pick 3: Waddle, Debo, Tank, Higgins, Mixon. Waddle, the first 3.
Yeah, I'm not playing Bengal. Like we're just not going that route. It's gross right now. I think the expected and like Higgins is coming off the injury. The expected points for Mixon was like 5. The expected points for Jamar Chase were like 5. Like it is rough in that offense.
I traded for Joe Mixon today in a league in a dynasty.
Yeah, it's bad news bears. It's just like
I traded for him. I got him. Yeah. I traded away Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just rough with Cup too, but
I think
I don't know if you could play Mixon honestly.
This is going to sound crazy, but I think Cooper Kupp retires at the end of the season.
So I saw. Did you see the post from what's his face? Like
Dr. Morse.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? He's treating it like it was breaking news, and he's like, I don't know how to treat this. I'm like, dude, you're a doctor. Just tell us.
I think this makes a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. I thought that before, so it was nice hearing someone else say it. But yes, what do we say? Waddle, Debo, Tank. First 3.
The first 3. Just no Bengals. No thank you.
Operation avoid the Bengals.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to a real barn burner in this one. Falcons at Jets. Good God. Quarterbacks, 25th best matchup for the Falcons, 8th best matchup for the Jets. Having said that, in a week where 26 teams are playing, Ritter is 24, Tim Boyle is 29. That's impressive. You are not playing any of these QBs, and if you are playing them, I don't like your chances. You're probably eliminated already.
Yeah, just you're better off with a skill position player in your super flex spot, honestly. over these guys. Like you should have the depth to play somebody over them. So yes,
Absolutely.
do that. Boyle's trash. Ritter's going against a rough defense. So thank you.
Absolutely. Running backs, sixth best matchup for the Falcons, second worst matchup for the Jets. I have Bijan at 8. Next up would be Brees Hall. I have down at 19. I don't know, where do I have Algier? Algier will be my next at 35. And I don't even know. It's going to be a ways down for Abanaconda or whoever the hell else it is. Abanaconda at 50. So I've got running back 1 and RB2, and then what did I say? Algier is a borderline 3. So we got a 1, 2, and a 3 here, but I'd like to play the top 2, and that's about it.
It's just so rough for Brees Hall at the moment. Like if you look at his yards per carry, it's been just disaster. He can't do anything. The only way he's really getting you fantasy points is if he makes explosive plays. Like that's the only way he does it. Like he has to single-handedly carry him to fantasy points. So I have him at RB14, but like honestly, like I don't feel confident in that projection at all. Like I would much rather play other guys in that range over him, like Gibbs, Etienne, Swift, all those guys. Like I would much rather play them in the range. I hate the Jets offense. It's atrocious. And at least Bijan, you saw it last week with Bijan. Like he's good. The setup is good. Like we fire up Bijan, he's top 8 for me.
Worst matchup for the Falcons receivers, 24th best, so bad for the Jets receivers. If the matchups weren't bad enough, go look at their quarterbacks. Having said that, this might be the matchup with the lowest ranked receiver because it's going to be Garrett Wilson for me, and he is still he did crack the top 20. He's 19, and I have Drake London at 36. So the best receiver in this game I have at 19, and you're probably not too far off. So other than that, like I'm playing London if I need a 3. I'm playing Wilson if I need probably a low 2. I'm not touching anyone else. Where do you have Wilson in London?
Wilson's 14, and I don't like that. I need to move down a few spots. London's 25. Realistically, like it's just strictly volume with Garrett Wilson. Like he gets peppered with targets, so he gets there, but man, it's a floor play. It's not a ceiling play. Same thing with London. Like he's been okay for fantasy. It's just, it's depressed. So actually, both these guys are 2 of the better like young wide receivers in the NFL, and it's dog shit situations. So it just sucks.
Tight end, I have Tyler Conklin at 17 in a good matchup. I have Kyle Pitts at 13 in a bad matchup. So I don't know. They're both desperation plays. I guess they're both streamers, what I should say. I don't really want to play either of them, but I guess you can. But I'm sure I'm playing both of them in at least one league. The kickers, the 3rd and 4th best matchup in what might be a field goal fest because neither team can fucking score. We have Koo and Zerline. I feel like I'm going to have Koo much higher. I have Koo at 17. I have Zerline at 24. I'm comfortable playing Koo. I'd like to avoid Zerline. The DST should be interesting. 2nd best matchup for the Falcons. 12th best for the Jets. Having said that, I think I far prefer the Jets. Oh, no, I do not in my projections anyways. Keep in mind these could change because I will convert my projections to actual rankings at some point this weekend. Right now I have the Falcons at 8 and I have the Jets at 14. The Jets will be moving up and the Falcons will be moving down. I get it. Tim Boyle's bad, but the Falcons defense is also bad. Whereas Desmond Ridder is bad and the Jets defense is good. So give me the good defense against the bad quarterback instead of the bad defense against the bad quarterback is my end point for this one.
I'm with you to a point. Like it's just Tim Boyle's so bad where he can't support the offense.
Agree.
Yeah. So yeah, I have the Falcons. I'm gonna go with the Falcons over the Jets, but yeah, it's not good. Like it's just rough, man. It's just unfortunate. It is what it is. And yeah, don't play Kyle Pitts this week. Just don't do it. Like just avoid Kyle Pitts.
Okay, so we've covered 2 AFC South teams. Pick one of the remaining 2 AFC South teams.
So we did that would be Jacksonville. Let's do Jacksonville.
Sure. The options.
I couldn't remember. I was like, "What's the 4th one?" I was like, "I can't remember."
Jacksonville and Houston are the 2 we haven't.
Yeah,
those are the 2 teams.
This one's fine. Yeah, there we go.
I was just trying to see if you were paying attention or if just that.
I had to rack my brain. I was like, my brain was like spinning. I was like, wait.
Okay, so just to confirm, Quincy, if you're still in the chat, it looks like it's confirmed. Dalton Schultz will indeed not play this week.
You want the ceiling case to Otten? Thomas is the 4th place. So, yeah.
So you're right. It has pretty much been confirmed. It said very likely to not play. So, anyways, we kind of knew that. But well, let's get into this. I think we end with 2 good games here. So Bengals at Jags. This would have been a much better game earlier in the season, but Sixth best matchup for the Bengals at QB, 11th for the Jags. Lawrence is my QB 8. Browning is my QB 22. So one is a must start and one is a must avoid unless something has gone horribly wrong. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's the regression is hit in a great way for Trevor Lawrence. Those touchdowns which he was not getting, all of a sudden he has 6 in his last 2 games. And amazing how that works for fantasy, right? Like you get the touchdowns, it's working out for you.
Yeah,
He's
the
just been
problem
playing
is
better
now
too.
it's going to dry up on you and it's going to go the other way right when you need it in the fantasy playoffs.
Right.
I always had that. I had that one year where I forget who it was, but I had 2 guys get absolutely on fire the last 3 weeks of the season when I was already clinched into the playoffs. And I'm going, these 2 are going to drop a bomb in the first week of the playoffs. Sure enough, boom, duds on both. And I'm going, you sons of bitches. You put up 30 in 3 straight games, and then first round of the playoffs, you each put up 2.5. You just know that's going to happen. So dud incoming week 1 of the playoffs.
It's usually how it goes.
Who do they
like
get?
Lord,
Let me check. I want to see who they get. Watch it be just who's the worst pass or rush defense you don't want to see. Oh, he's limited today by rib issue, hey?
Is he?
ETN was listed as a limited participant due to a rib injury. Yeah, yesterday anyway, sorry.
I was looking at Lawrence. I was like, wait, what? He's limited? I was like, okay. Yeah, so by the way, Lawrence gets Cleveland the last week of the regular season, and then he gets Baltimore. So that's going to be fun for those 2 matchups.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're talking ETN, who's been great. Yeah, his first week of the playoffs, he gets Baltimore. So, yeah. Enjoy the ETN points where you get him because he's now hurt and going into a rough schedule. So, where were we? Quarterback? No, we were at quarterback. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, yeah. I was just saying, like, this matchup's good for Lawrence. So, like, you're firing up with confidence. He's my QB5. So, I'm all aboard the Lawrence train for this week. I expect them to be able to just go down kind of at will against the Bengals defense, who has struggled as of late. It's kind of falling apart in Cincinnati across the board. So, yeah, I like Lawrence in this matchup a lot, actually.
Running backs, 24th best matchup for the Bengals, 14th for the Jaguars. I have ETN at 2. He will be lower if I don't hear significant improvements in that practice report when I change these. Joe Mixon is a volume play, and he has volumed his way to RB 27 in my ranks. That I feel is significantly low. And once I fine tune these and tweak them, I bet you he will be into the mid-range, low-end RB2. I feel like he's probably going to end up around 16 or 18 for me, probably in the same range as Jaylen Warren and Breece Hall. What do you guys, or what do you think?
I have Mixon at 24. The problem with his offense is they don't run plays. They ran 40 plays last week. So if you run 40 plays, you're not supporting anybody. And that's the problem with Browning. Like, you can't, like, I really, if I have Bengals, I just want to bench him across the board. And I'm even super nervous about Jamar Chase. Like, I hate this offense right now and all the skill position players they have. So Mixon is just avoid if you can. Like, just bench him. Like, it's just, I don't expect it to be good against this Jaguars defense who's been good against running backs as it is. Like, this is just a cavalcade of issues for them. And I do not like Mixon this week, like, at all. So, and ETN, like, ETN's good. Like, you fire up ETN. I get he's injured, but the vibes are so much better with ETN. The injury does worry me. It's going to bring down his like floor and ceiling a little bit because they'll probably give some more work to Dearness Johnston as they did last week where he took over. And by the way, Bigsby, just don't worry about Bigsby. ETN or Dearness Johnston's RB2 in that offense. So I don't care about Bigsby. But yeah, so like ETN's going to be a top 16-ish running back, and he'll get you points, and he should be able to score this week. So
sorry, I got sidetracked. We have an article. Someone was messaging me. There's a college football article he has in the hopper, and the game, one of the games in it is going out is tonight. So he was messaging me to make sure we get it out, and I have to go to work. So
is it the Pac-12 championship game? Is that one?
Yes. So if you get a chance after this, if you're able to publish an article, can you go handle that one?
I will try to. If I got it, yeah, I'll look for it.
Because he said it's already in there. So I told him before I go back to work, I'm going to give it a shot. But I don't know if I'm going to have time by the time we're done this. So I didn't realize he had a game tonight. I didn't realize there were games tonight. I'm done college mode. I finished my college league last week. I'm in full NFL mode till we see where Michigan. For now, it's just Michigan for me. That's all that exists. So
like championship, baby. Yes.
So wide receivers, 7th best matchup for the Bengals, 16th best matchup for the Jaguars. I am still taking Chase as my top receiver in this game, despite how bad the quarterback play is. But because of that quarterback play, it is insanely close between him and Ridley. Ridley's at 12 for me. I only say that because Jeremy's not on the show. I would have moved him down 30 spots if Jeremy was on the show. Christian Kirk is 23 for me. I think I still have Higgins way down because I still don't have Higgins listed as in the lineup yet. I think he plays, but I haven't adjusted. Yeah, I still have him at 73. So I have him as just a placeholder right now that I'm expecting to take out of the lineup. But I expect him to play, so he's going to move up. But having said that, I want Chase, and then I don't care. Higgins, probably Chase, Ridley, and then Higgins and Chase, Ridley, Kirk, Higgins. I'm not really confident about that ranking of any of the four. They're all kind of just jumbled in somewhere. I feel like they're all wide receiver 2s at this point.
Yeah, so you know how I have issue with Jamar Chase? I have a bigger issue with Higgins. He's coming off the injury. And if this offense is as bad as it was, he's not going to be viable. So, I'm just benching Higgins. He's 43 for me in the rankings, and I'm probably going to keep him in that range. I have Chase one spot lower than Ridley, and I'm going to play Ridley over Chase. I have serious issues with the quarterback in the offense. So, if I got a chance to, pivot to an option such as Ridley, who is rolling and that offense is looking good, I'm going to go that way over Chase. But he's wide receiver 13, but man, it's not great. And I have Kirk at wide receiver 20, and I'm fine firing him too.
The best way I think I could summarize these 4 receivers is I see them all as wide receiver 2s with downside.
Yes, very much so. Particularly the Bengals side. There's a lot of downside.
Tight ends, 9th best matchup for Irv Smith or Tanner Hudson or whoever. So I'm not playing him. 2nd best matchup for Evan Engram. I am playing him. He is my 6 on the week. He's a must start. The kickers, 29th best matchup for McPherson, 8th best for McManus. McManus is my 3 on the week. McPherson is my last kicker on the week. So that means don't play McPherson. Bengals, 11th best matchup. Jags 21st best matchup. That is not factoring in the QB change and what it's been. That's just an on the season rank. So that's probably significantly boosted. I have the Jags. Actually, I have them both ranked low, I think. Where are they? Oh, no, the Jags are not low. The Jags are 3. So my projections have factored in what the matchups have not. So the Jags are my 3. The Bengals are 21. So tight end, kicker, defense, start your Jags, bench your Bengals. But that pretty much holds true of everything in this game. Start your Jags, bench your Bengals. I mean, you're probably going to have to play Chase and Mixon.
Yeah. If you can pivot off of Mixon particularly, I would go do that. Yeah. He worries the crap out of me. I just don't know if he's getting enough plays, volume, and he's a volume dependent guy. So he gets hit way worse than someone like Chase who can, at least bust a big play and do something good for you.
All right, to close it out here, we have Broncos at Texans, which is suddenly a very important game with 2 teams battling for a wild card. 9th best matchup for Russ, 10th best matchup for Stroud. I don't care. Stroud is my 5. Russ Wilson is surprisingly high. He is my 11. So I think he's a start in this probably high-scoring game, but Stroud is an absolute must start. What do you think?
Yeah. You got to fire up Stroud. He's just living on he's just been so good this entire year. He had the 3 interception game the week before. He comes back. He's 26-36, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then he gets, he gives you 6 for 47 on the ground. He's been awesome, and he's been the rookie of the year by far. He's still in the MVP discussion for me, even though he lost to Lawrence, but whatever. And Lawrence is good. Wilson, he's QB12. I'm riding Russell Wilson. I'm back in for fantasy. Let's ride, baby.
Best matchup for running backs for the Texans, 16th best for the Broncos. My highest ranked here is going to be Devin Singletary. I'm almost certain. One sec, let me check.
He's high for me.
It is. I have Singletary at 20. I have Javonte at 23. I have Pierce down at 31, and I feel like Pierce is going to get moved down. I watched a podcast yesterday where they feel that Pierce is just slowly being worked back into this from injury. I disagree. I think Singletary's the guy, and I think Pierce is useless. I also want nothing to do with McLaughlin there unless it's a desperation play. Same can be said about the Italian Stallion. So for me, I'm very close here on Singletary and Williams. I have Williams ranked higher, but I think I'm going to move Singletary up higher. This isn't another one for me. This is a swing game for Singletary. If he goes another game where he is still definitively the guy and Pierce is not taking his job back, Pierce is going to fall right off a cliff, and Singletary is going to skyrocket up to Zach Moss territory. So, but for now, I have him and Javonte, Singletary and Javonte close. How about you?
Yeah, I have Singletary at 16. Javonte's at 21, I think. And I'm all aboard the Singletary train. We've been talking about it for a while. He just fits the offense better. It's an ideal fit. On the other side, Pierce does not. And it's no surprise they brought a new offense coordinator, different scheme, different situation, and it completely changes the running back. So, yeah, like I want no part of Pierce like you're talking about. It's just another inefficient game on the ground where he had 12 attempts, but he saw less than half the snaps. Meanwhile, Singletary was at like 82% of the snaps and just getting a ton of passing down work. Javonte's interesting, and I actually like him in this matchup because he saw 24 opportunities. So, like, you're getting usage like that. Like, it's really hard to drop him outside the top 24. So, like, I'm all aboard with Javonte, too, this week.
Wide receivers, 19th best matchup for the Broncos, 26th best matchup for the Texans. I think I've got a bunch of starters in this. I have Dell at 9, Nico at 18, Cortland at 21, and I'm sure I have Judy ranked somewhere half decent. Judy's 38, so I essentially have 4 startable receivers here. Mims I'll play if you're absolutely desperate. I don't mind. Is no Brown. I feel like he's lower because I think he's still hurt, but so I have solid options here. I very much prefer the 2 Texans. Then I have a huge gap to Sutton, then a massive gap to Judy, and then desperation to Mims and Brown. What do you think?
Yeah, it comes down to pass volume in these offenses. And I mean, like Dell's been incredible this year. Nico's been good, but like the pass attempts are going to just dramatically shift towards the Texans in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they have at least 10 more pass attempts, like between the 2 offenses. That's just kind of how Denver operates. They keep it close to the vest. They like to run it. Like they just keep it slow. Meanwhile, Houston's just chucking the rock all over the place. So like Dell's going to be higher. I have Dell, then I have Sutton, and then Collins, and then it's like a tier gap, and then it's like Judy and like Brown if he plays. But like I don't really expect Brown to do much of anything. So it's those top 3 who I'm very confident in starting. As far as official ranking, I think like where is he at? Yeah, Judy's at 40, Nico's at 32. And then it's up a little higher. Sutton's at 18 and Dell is at 14, I think.
Yeah. The tight ends, I'm not playing either. Troutman, they both get good matchups, but Troutman, I don't want any part of. And Schultz, I just removed from my rankings. So I don't even have a Texans tight end really ranked. I'd have to adjust it. Like I said, I just took them out now. Yeah. The kickers are the 10th and 11th best matchup. I have Lutz at 10. I have Amendola at 15, so they're both playable if you have to. The DSTs, I don't really want any part of here. The matchup is better for the Texans, but the Broncos have been a lot better as of late. Yeah. I have the Texans at 15. I have the Broncos at 20. So I don't really want any of these tight ends, kickers, or defenses in this matchup. I'd like to steer clear of all of them. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the starting Houston and Texans tight end's going to be Brevin Jordan now. But realistically, like, you don't want to play any one of those guys. Troutman sucks, so no thank you. And the defenses and kickers, yeah, I'm with you. Just avoid if you can. Like, that just seems like the best way to go this game.
Absolutely. All right, well, that wraps up our AFC home games preview. We will be back Sunday at noon, right up until kickoff for our start-sit show, and then Sunday night at 8 o'clock for the game recap. Good luck in Week 13, everyone. We will see you Sunday at noon. Take care, everyone.